Hi, I just wanted to talk to you kids for a moment or two about Shavuot, or Shvius, as my father would refer to it in his heavily accented Yiddish pronunciation. Shavuot is one of those festivals in Judaism that often gets short shrift because it falls at the end of the year before summer. Sometimes religious school isn't even in session. But it is no less a significant festival than is Pesach or Sukkot or even the High Holy Days for that matter. Shavuot is part of the culmination of the springtime harvest before the onset of the summer. But historically, and more important, it represents the receiving of Torah at Mount Sinai. If Pesach is about our liberation, then Shavuot is about revelation, receiving the Torah. After the Israelites left Egypt, they crossed the Sea of Reeds, they traveled through the desert, they came to the foothills of Mount Sinai. Moses went up the mountain and received not just the Ten Commandments, but the entire Torah, which he delivered to the Israelite nation below. Both the written law, which forms the basis for the Torah as we have it today, the five books of Moses, and the oral law, which would later comprise what we know as Halakha, Jewish law, the Mishnah, eventually the Talmud, interpretations of law. And as such, it is a festival. It's observed for 2 days. It's also customary to have dairy products during the festival of Shavuot. No one is entirely sure of this tradition or how it got started. Some people think because after the Israelites received the laws and commandments and basic halakha, they learned about the laws of kashrut and what it meant to keep dietary restrictions. And suddenly they realized they hadn't been as careful about following the laws for meat as they should have been or could have been. Now they had a full interpretation of Torah. So dairy was much easier to procure and to proceed with the preparation. Some people think because dairy represents more of a refined taste, whereas meat is about taking something that actually has a soul, right? That was created by God, that lives and breathes and can bleed. It's preferable to have dairy dishes. And some people think because chalav or milk can represent one of the manifestations of Torah in its nutritious value and its flavor. Shavuot doesn't have some of the symbolism that other festivals do, like Sukkot, with sleeping and eating in the sukkah, or the lulav and etrog, or sounding the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, or the Seder meal and eating matzah that Pesach does. It doesn't have the toys and the gifts and spinning the sivivon that Hanukkah has. Nevertheless, historically for our people, it's just as important a festival. It'll fall Thursday night and is observed through Saturday night. And I encourage you all. I know you probably are busy still with your Zoom school. Perhaps you're heading into finals. Perhaps you're all zoomed out at this point. But remember Thursday night that it's Shavuot. It's when our ancient ancestors, thousands of years ago, became a true community, became a true religion, received the Torah, received laws and rituals and traditions and governances. And we're the inheritors to that day, right? We're part of their legacy. In truth, Judaism wouldn't exist without a festival like Shavuot. So we should remember it. We shouldn't take it for granted, and we should appreciate it. I'm sorry I won't be there with all of you physically to celebrate Shavuot. We will have services Thursday night and Friday morning and Friday night and Saturday morning via Zoom. I just hope you are all safe and healthy, and I hope whether it's through Zoom or whether it's through an actual classroom, to see you again. Be well, enjoy the week, Chag Sameach, Shabbat Shalom. Stay safe and stay healthy.